Yakuza 0 is a fun game. On one hand, it's a crime, drama, murder mystery. But on the other hand, it's let me put it this way. My girlfriend will walk by me as I'm playing games and usually will look at the screen and make comments. And here's just a few of the things that she said while I was playing Yakuza 0.
I thought you said it was a mafia game. Why are you doing karaoke? That guy looks angry. What is this game? Are you racing cars? Why are you bowling? Are you really playing a video game in another video game? What's going on? Is this that Yakuza game still? Michael Jackson?
So the game mixes this whimsical tone with a serious tone, and you'd think it'd never work, but it does. It's really engaging. To get into more detail, there's not really a lot of game in this game at first. It's a lot of cinematics and just watching stuff happen. Go from point A to B, then watch a cutscene, then fight, then repeat, over and over and over and over and over and over and over. At first, I wasn't really invested. I was like, what's going on? I don't really know much about the Yakuza or crime families, and they kept introducing characters and labels and text things on screen, and I was like, okay. And eventually, the game did click. There was a point where it just opens up and you can pursue the story, or you can do these wacky side quests and mini games. And they also introduced this eye patch guy named Goro, and his story really pulled me in. And then all the random characters and attitudes, it just clicks. So there's two main characters of the game, Kiryu and Goro, and both characters have their own main stories, which are intertwined, and then they also have their own side stories that are not really related to each other. Kiryu's is running a real estate business, and Goro's is managing a nightclub, and they're both full games in themselves. Although I guess they are a bit tedious to play, but I didn't mind it because I actually really liked the real estate stuff. You go around buying properties and investing in them and then making money from them, and then you have this whole fight with all these other landlords and owners, and it just, I don't know, I liked it. It was just a fun side story. I wish there was more of it and that it connected to the main story. I mean, the game is just so random. 1 minute, you're in a street fight. The next, you're helping this guy rebrand himself so he can sell his really tasty mushrooms that everybody thinks are drugs, but are really just tasty mushrooms. The next, you're hiring a chicken named the Nugget to be a manager in your real estate company. And then you're racing slot cars and helping the guy not feel like he's a loser for loving slot cars. Then you infiltrate a cult to save some girl. And then you're battling a bunch of Yakuza in a massage parlor in a very tense scene. Basically, the mood and atmosphere was everywhere, but it was really fun to see where the game went. So I was just always engaged. And the voice acting, the writing, and the animation, it was all great. It took me about 54 hours to beat the game, and I only did like half of Goro's side quests, and I didn't get far into his nightclub management section. I did do most of Kiryu's side quests though, and I completed the real estate thing, and I could easily have spent another 20 hours just completing quests. So there's like a whole bunch of game I didn't game in this game. The combat is stiff, but I got used to it, and then I ended up liking it. The violence is cartoonish at times, then realistic, and then ridiculous. Really ridiculous. This is awesome. And while all that stuff is great, the game isn't perfect. I did struggle to get into it because it is mostly cutscenes. You're just watching a lot. And it is also a lot of reading. There is no English dub. It's all in Japanese, so you have to read the subtitles. And the main story is voice acted, and that's really cool, but the side quests were not. It also has some offensive transgender representation. There is one character that's just a blatant stereotype in a game with a lot of different characters that all have their own motivations and quirks, and it just feels fun and fresh. It's a letdown for them to have this cis person's idea of what a transgender woman is, which is basically an overly sexual buff man in a wig. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy most of my time with the game, and I found myself invested in the story and enjoying the mini games and side activities and the characters. And this game isn't the first in this series, but it is chronologically the first in the story. So when I finish this one, I just immediately bought the next one, and I'm looking forward to playing it. Yeah, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Would recommend. Plus, how many games can say they have Steven Spielberg as a character that joins you at your real estate company? Come on!